Hey everybody, Crystal Kitsune here, and today we are back with Fate. Now, it has been a while since I've played Fate, but it's an old, wild tangent game back in the days of when games were like through a big pile. Like, it's kind of like a Steam kind of thing almost. It was a Wild Tangent was like a game program that you could download other games from and play it from that. So essentially it was kind of like Steam in a sense. And you had to buy tokens in order to play the game. And some of the games were free, so you didn't have to use tokens. But the other games were, you could play like up to a certain amount of time, and then they had you basically buy coins, and then you stick it in the slot, and then you could play. And there was like a lot of like racing games and stuff like that were like that also. But I played this game back in the day whenever it came out, and then when I was searching for some games to play on Steam, I saw this come up, and this and its predecessor, and I think the third one, because they came up with the third one. I think all three of them are on Steam. But I got this one because this is the one I played. I never actually played any of the other ones. I didn't even know they'd had a third one until not that long ago. But this is kind of like old school nostalgia. If you know this game, then you know what it's about. I did play some of this on the channel before, but like a really long time ago. I will check on this computer here to see when the last time was I played Fate. I didn't do so well on the kind of like analytics, I guess you could call it. It was kind of passed over, you know, like for a while, and then not like a lot of people watched it. So I played it 5 months ago, so that's how long it's been since I played Fate. So last year sometime, and it only got 3 views. So yeah. Okay, so I have my old account here, which puts me at level 19, but I made Kitsune, which is another character for this channel. It was not that long after Halloween when I played it, because Five Nights at Freddy's was the last game I played on Halloween, and then it was Lapio, and then it was Fate. So yeah. And Lucky was just a baby around then, and now she's older and getting ready to lay eggs. She wants to lay eggs. So anyway, I don't need this because I know what I'm doing. This is, she says. So yeah, we're just going to get into it. I don't remember where we left off, to be honest. I don't remember what level we were on. I don't remember what quests we were doing, obviously, after being gone for 5 months. I really don't remember. So we're still on level 1, I guess. I have to remember that it's a click and point, or click and run, or whatever. It's not a arrow key thing. I've been playing games that involve the arrow keys, so that's what I'm used to. It's kind of funny how, like, you play a game, like, forever, like Minecraft, or even other games that use arrow keys.
You have gained an
and I find myself, like, always, kind of like going back to, like, okay, so I would play Minecraft, and then I would go into Second Life, which is a game. It's not really a game, it's kind of like Facebook, much bigger. I mean, it came out way before Facebook, but it's like a social thing. And there's people in it that are actually real people, and you can go shopping, you can do photography, you can be a stripper if you want to. So Second Life is basically like, allows you to do stuff that you wouldn't be comfortable doing in real life, or wouldn't be able to do it in real life, and you can do like basically anything. You can just go walking around different worlds. You can, I don't know. It's just like a lot of interesting things that a bunch of people put together. They call the worlds are Sims, and there's billions and billions of Sims. I mean, I'm sure I'm probably exaggerating just slightly, but there are a lot of Sims. There's shopping Sims, there's Sims that replicate real life places. It's a very extensive and entertaining place. But the only bad thing about Second Life is that you need a very high-end computer to run it. Well, unless you want problems. Second Life, you can have the stuff be like the graphics and stuff be very low and be able to run it somewhat okay. And there's other viewers besides the regular Second Life one that allows you to play it as minimally as you can. But initially, like, you want like a high-end computer to run it and be able to like have the graphics super high and super great. Then you can do like photography and stuff with like the high-end graphics, and you know, make pictures for people. And they have an in-world currency. They're called lindens, and you can make money in the game. And what's cool about the game of the social thing of Second Life is that you can actually make real money out of Second Life. People make stuff for other people to wear or use or whatever. So there is a market for
your pet has increased in
people
power.
making things, clothing, hair, shoes, you know, decor, that kind of stuff. So, and everything is mesh now. So if you knew how to make mesh things out of like programs that allow you to make mesh, you can make stuff for Second Life, and you can make that a job. You can very much make real money out of Second Life. I've never gotten to that point, so it's kind of sucky that I can't actually really make real money off of it. But it's still fun to go in and like socialize with people. And I'm gonna stop talking about Second Life because you're probably going like, she's droning on and on about Second Life. But if you're interested in checking it out, you just go to secondlife.com and it'll tell you everything you need to know about the thing. So there's that. I'll leave that little nugget of information with you. Okay, so we are going through this cave, and we're coming up on this guy because he might have something interesting for us.
You know a bargain when
Might
you
be
see
to sell some things. So we can improve our money and possibly buy some more health potions, because we're running low on those. I remember like the days when I would just like sit and play this game for like hours on end, and then like I didn't really get that far in this game back in the day. There's like 100 levels to this dungeon. I said cave. It looked like a cave, but there's like 100 levels to this particular cave or dungeon, and I've not actually gotten to the end of this game, because the end of the game is essentially you're supposed to fight the big boss or whatever at the end, which is not necessarily on level 100, but you're supposed to defeat that boss, and you're supposed to I'm guessing that's the end, is defeating the boss at the end. So me playing the game as a young person, I've never gotten to the end. I would play this game for a while, and then I kind of would lose interest, and then that's it. After that, you know, then like usually what would happen though is I would play the game and get to a certain point, And then whatever game that I was playing at the time either was on a computer that went down or bad or whatever, and they don't save your accounts. It's not like Steam, where like you can access your account from any computer and possibly get, you know, like your own gameplay or whatever from the files or whatever. So I downloaded this on multiple computers, and each time I would play up to a certain point, and then, you know, the whole thing would, the computer would break or something, and I would have to restart the game. And I never got to, you know, the point where I got to defeat the big boss at the end, because like I said, either that happened or I just lost interest. And it's kind of sad, really, because like, as old as this game is, it's still fun. I mean, for me it is, because it's just kind of nostalgic, I guess, for me playing it now. It does get kind of grindy, you know, which like any MMO out there is, but this isn't isn't an MMO because it's not multiplayer. I don't know if even the
You are exhausted.
I don't know if even any of the newer iterations would have multiplayer or not. I doubt it, but this has always been like a single player dungeon crawl game. So when I was playing it, I was always like, you know, I'm going to beat it this time, or get closer to the end or something. And you're supposed to do quests, and you're supposed to get stronger in, you know, levels and all that, and then you're supposed to get to the point where you can defeat the boss at the end. I never got that far, because I guess when you get to a certain point in this game, it's like any RPG type thing, where it's like you're grinding and it's endless and you get bored of it, and then it's like, fuck it. And then I put it away, and then I don't think about it for a really long time, and then when it gets around to me thinking about it again, I'm like, oh, you know, I should pick up Fate and play this again, and then it's like, I totally don't have it on my computer and have to download it again, and then whatever game I had on before is gone. I think like level 19 as a character before is like the highest that I've gotten as a character. I don't think I've gotten any higher than that, which is actually kind of sad, because it's a fun game, so why wouldn't I play it more? But then, like I mentioned before, it gets grindy, and then it gets to be a pain in the ass. I'm the same way with every MMO, because when it comes to all that grinding, it just gets so grinding and like going back and forth, you know, for quests and stuff. So like, I would do a quest, and it says, oh, you have to kill all these, you know, monsters and get their teeth, or get their bones, or get whatever, and it's a drop that only happens once in a while. So you're grinding all these monsters, getting all the bones or teeth or whatever the hell it is that you need, and then you take it back to this person, and they're all like, okay, well, now that you did this, now we need you to grab their whatevers. And then I'm like, I was just there getting this thing at the same time I could have been getting this thing. It's just really annoying when the quests do stuff like that, because it kind of ruins the game for me. It's like, I was here, I was battling this thing and getting this thing that you needed, and now you need this thing, which I could have been collecting at the same time. So why not just say, oh, I need this and this from this monster, so get both at the same time, so you don't have to go back. But I've dealt with a lot of MMOs that were like that, and it pissed me off. But while it was a little bit better about that, it was still really grindy, but at least it had a story, and you can like kind of like get into the lore or whatever of the people and the monsters and stuff. So depending on which side you're on, whether you're a Horde or Alliance. But the thing that, and it's like they constantly update it, it's like it's never the same world kind of like.
You are exhausted.
I mean, it's the same world, but they make changes to it. So like when I was playing it before, when I was younger, before my computer, you know, crapped out on me and I wasn't able to play it anymore, I was like, this is fun, I want to keep playing it. But I got to the point where my computer couldn't handle it anymore, and I was like lagging even in places that didn't have a lot of people. Like Stormwind is a big laggy place because there's people, you know, up the wazoo in Stormwind. But I was there before the Great Cataclysm thing that they had. And then later they had the big cataclysm, which like split the world in half, kind of. And it basically was different. The world was different because it, you know, had a cataclysm and, you know, shit happened. And yeah, so I mean, like, they're constantly changing, and they had like all these different iterations of the world, and they're always putting new stuff into World of Warcraft. So I mean, it's fun, but it's kind of sucks that like once you get to a certain point though, you're doing the same quests no matter what. So that's kind of, you know, sucky for me. I would love it if it was like when you're playing as a certain character in World of Warcraft, you have your race specific quests at the beginning. But then when you get into higher level, then all the quests are the same for whichever. It doesn't matter what race you are. I mean, I think it matters which like side you're on, what quest you get. But if you're on the Alliance, no matter what person or race you choose, you're always going to have the same quests at a certain point. I think it's like when you hit like level 60 or something like that, then all the quests start to run into each other. So you have all these different branches of races, but like, and they all like are scattered out, but then like the initial goal is to always get, you know, in the middle. It's always going to meet in the middle. So that's what kind of made it not fun for me, was because all the time that I would play, it would always lead to that point in the middle, and then it was always the same, and so you're doing the same quests all over and over again, and then it just kind of made me lose interest. But I did get one character to a level 100 in World of Warcraft, which is the first ever MMO game that I played where I got to a level 100. I've played many different MMOs. I've played the first MMO that I ever started playing was Maple Story, and I played that for a while because I knew like somebody who played it also. So we dicked around on it a little bit. There, I've played Flife, which is Fly for Free or whatever. Played that one with a friend. I've played a couple others I can't remember that I didn't stay in very long, so they didn't keep my interests to where I would remember the name. I think there was like one that was called Domo or something like that, but I didn't like the way that they did the their moving around stuff. Like you had to, like with this one, you have to like click to get to different places instead of using the arrow keys like a lot of other MMOs do. So that was kind of annoying, and that's why I didn't play it for very long. I played Jade Empire.
And skill.
I think that's what it was called, Jade Empire. I played Perfect World, which is the same people that made Jade Empire, I think. So yeah, I mean, I've played a lot of different. I mean, I've played World of Warcraft, obviously, and went back to Maple Story at one point, and I never stayed in them long enough to get to level 100. So that's just a pet peeve, I guess, or whatever of mine is that you get into a game and then it's like super grindy and annoying, and then I just lose interest. So, but Fate has always been there. It's just not, I mean, it's easy to get into since it's not an MMO, it's not laggy or anything, so you're just playing by yourself. And I guess for me, I like the aspect of playing with other people, like with friends and stuff. So anytime I would get into an MMO, I would start with a friend, but they would always be in the game before I started, so they would be like a higher level than I was, and they'd be off doing their own thing, and I, even though we were in the game at the same time, we weren't together, so we weren't grinding together, we weren't doing quests together, so that part, is hard to do, I guess, in an MMO unless you're starting both at the same time. So I never did MMOs with friends, and this game would be a lot more fun, if you had somebody to play with. So if this was like maybe not the multiplayer, but at least like where you can bring in like one person or something and be able to play with one or two people, it would be a lot more fun. But I guess they made it the way they made it, so it's just a game that you could just go through by yourself. I guess they don't want it to be a multiplayer game for a reason. I don't know if they made any of the sorry, my eye is like bothering me. I don't know if they made any of the newer ones multiplayer. I haven't looked into it, so I don't really know. They could have, like the newer one could be more multiplayer. But anyway, my timer went off a few minutes ago, so that's going to be the end of me playing Fate. Sorry if I bored you. I tend to do that a lot. Like with Minecraft, I'll just sit there and talk about some dumb shit that you probably don't even give a rat's ass about. And I'm just talking like I would talk with my friends. Like, they would sit there and say, like, listen to me, but they'll be like, probably in their heads of like, I wish this person would shut up about this thing I don't give a care about. And you guys you can't tell me that, but you can click off the video if it does get too boring. So I apologize if I rambled on too much about MMO games or that kind of stuff. So thanks so much for watching. And you notice that Munchkin isn't here today because he was getting kind of vocal, and when he gets vocal, it's I don't want him in the video because that kind of spikes the microphone, and it would be kind of annoying for you guys to listen to, so I don't want him to make all that noise. And also, an update, the two parakeets that made all these other babies have another baby, so there's another baby on the way, and possibly up to 7 more, because she laid 7 eggs, so I don't know how many babies are going to come out of that mess, but of course, I will keep you updated, I guess, and show them on camera whenever they're old enough to, obviously. So yeah, there's that. And over here, be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I forgot that. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram because I have both of those, and even though I'm like on Twitter constantly, I don't really pay attention to. I don't type a lot on Twitter because nobody to tweet to, because I don't have very many followers. I only have 8, and a couple of them are old friends, and one of them is a family member, so they don't really count. But yeah, do that. And then this side here, there'll be a video that YouTube suggests you should check out here in the middle of my face. Click on that, become one of the 100 subscribers that I'm trying to get to for this year. I have 80 right now, I think, so click on my face and you can subscribe. And over here there'll be a a link to my Spreadshirt store or whatever it is, and you can get some merchandise. I'm sorry, I'm like not Englishing right today. I don't seem to English right all the time or whatever. Okay, so go over here if you want some merch, because there'll be a link to that there. I'm gonna stop talking now and let you get on with your day. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.